Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And I was making sure it's recording, y'all. I'd hate to have to do this video all over again. Today I'm going to be doing the second half of my What Sold, which will be for last weekend, December 1st through the 3rd. Sales were good except Friday because I started a sale. I always run sales in my store Monday through Thursday and then Friday through Sunday. Almost always it's 10%. Once in a while I'll go a little bit higher, but usually I just run these two sales all the time. It's just built in to my business plan. And I set my sale like I normally do and never thought about it again. And of my almost 11,000 listings, only 600 of them populated into the sale. And y'all, my sales plummeted that day. So those people who don't think running a sale makes a difference as far as boosting you in the algorithm, proof, because only 600 items were in that sale. And I mean, I went from here on the little barcode to down the chart down to here. It was awful. So now I just need to remember every time I start a sale at some point, you know, within a little while, make sure that it has populated my entire store. So Saturday morning when I realized what had happened, I just did another sale and it picked up all the rest of them. And then I had a good weekend. But, all right, I have sales on my 3 platforms to share with you guys. I did a lot of bread and butter sales, but I'm only picking some of a few bread and butter and then most of the higher dollar stuff that I sold. And to me, y'all, I am thrilled when I sell a plush for $10 because y'all know I am frugal. I don't spend a whole lot of money on the items that I pick up. Usually they're less than $1. At the bins, you know, depending on their weight, they could be not very much at all. And that's why I like toys, because I can get them so cheap. You know, it's just, I don't need to make $25 and up to make this business worthwhile. I sell a whole lot of bread and butter. You guys know that. And I'm content with that. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, update my negative feedback. Again, because of postal delays. I went through the little button on the right side of your screen that says, you know, seller help. I tried to get it automatically removed because eBay's policy is if you get a negative feedback because of things that are outside of your control, which includes the postal system, it's going to be removed. But it didn't. It got declined. Y'all, it's hard to get to the point where you can ask eBay for assistance. I try going through that automated stuff, but I have learned if I just say send email, and it doesn't always let me, but it did let me this time, just going through that automated chat service that they have. I sent an email, again, explaining I shipped in 1 business day. It's in the tracking with proof of that. And then I just copy and pasted eBay's policy about removing defects when it's for reasons out of our control. Now, it took them 2 days to respond, but they did remove the feedback again. So that just seems to be the way that I'm finally getting somebody to actually look at the case and not get either a bot response or we need to wait till it's delivered. Because no, we don't need to wait till it's delivered. I did my part. The delay is because of the postal system. And so twice, knock on wood, it's working for me. So, but I still think I'm going to upgrade to an anchor store. I think I've just decided I'm close enough to the numbers that make it feasible to upgrade, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. That way I don't have to get frustrated with the delays when I know eBay policy. I know it's supposed to be removed. I just can't get them to do it. All right, so let's get to what sold. I had 2 sales on Mercari, but they were both decent sales. Does that mean I'm going to stick with this platform? Probably not. But it was nice to see some higher dollar stuff and not just low dollar stuff that I tend to sell on there. This was a vintage Christmas nativity figure lot. It was just the shepherd, a cow, and a donkey. It sold for $23 on Poshmark. And then I picked this up at an estate sale. I want to say I only paid like $2 for it, but it's Jim Shore, God Bless Us Everyone. Sold for $54 offer on Mercari. And then I've got, let's see, 2, 4, 6 sales on Poshmark to share with you guys. But it just seems I'm mostly only selling stuff on Poshmark on the weekends. I went, I want to say 5 or 6 days this week with no sales on Poshmark. And then yesterday I had 4. It's just, that just seems to be, you know, how it's going for me. Is it that way with a lot of you? Are my sales where I wish they had been for Poshmark? No, I haven't slowed down long enough to really learn Poshmark. I haven't. I just keep cross-listing on there and then, you know, waiting for the sales. And that's probably not the way that platform is. You can't just list it and forget it on there. All right, first sale. Decent. A lamb musical wind-up plush sold for $30. Destiny women's jeans sold for $13. Now, Poshmark's the only other platform that I cross-list all of my clothing to. I haven't ever wanted to even put it on Mercari. Anybody else list on Mercari with clothing? You know, maybe it's something I should consider before I just totally cut loose on that platform. Don't know. Our Generation Batot doll clothes lot. I picked up a whole bag of doll clothes stuff and I divvied it out. There was this whole bunch of Our Generation and then there was others that weren't that brand. I ended up selling this for $37. Levi's men's jeans sold for $17. And Rodney Reindeer, y'all. I think I'm down to 1 left. 1. I'll be looking all over again next year. Every yard sale, every estate sale, and the bins to pick these up because they have just been amazing. You know, 15 to 20 bucks for each one of them. This is Rhonda, and she sold for $15. And this was a nice sell on there. This was an Aurora Brown Labrador dog plush. Big, 28 inches, but I was able to get it into a large priority box. It sold for $60. Now eBay. If you're new to my channel, when I say something sold for $12 like this screen, I don't do free shipping, so the buyer also paid additional for shipping. Anything that's a pound or less, I do flat rate shipping based on the weight of the package. And then clothing, I do most of them flat rate if I know they're going to fit in a, what is that? That bubble, what is that called? The padded flat rate envelope. If it's not going to fit in that, then I do calculated shipping for that. And then everything over a pound that's not clothing, I do calculated shipping. All right, first thing is this Gund black and white Dolce Rabbit sold for $12. All right, Hallmark Jingle Pals. I think I'm down to 1 of them left. It's another one of those things. If I can pick it up for relatively cheap, $5 or less, I tend to pick them up. Some sell for a lot. Others, like this one, is a little bit more common. I ended up taking an offer of $16.76. Nobbler Japan Brick Layered Coffee Mug. I love picking up vintage mugs. And now that we have reduced our shipping to allow our buyers to pay actual shipping that we are being charged from eBay, we have sold a lot. We did that back in September and I have seen a huge increase in sales. This coffee mug sold for $9.99. Fisher-Price Little People. This is one of the vintage figures. I tend to pick up lots of them when I can find them. Some are worth listing individually, like this blue-collared dog. I sold it for $12. Some of the other ones I'll put into small lots. If they're to a particular set, I may go ahead and break them down. Like if I was to find the castle set, you know, I would sell them separately. But even some of them, like my, I don't know if you guys can see it, I've got the pink dragon right there. that would be something I would list individually if I was going to sell it, which I'm not. Disney Winnie the Pooh nylon plush pillow sold for $10. Y'all, I don't do this very often. I'm going to stop here for just a second. I appreciate the support that you guys give for my channel. If you're going to be doing any online selling, we do have links down in our description to Walmart, eBay. If you click on any of those links, it will take you into that platform, and you don't have to buy anything from my store or my storefront. But if you go into those platforms, I do make a small percentage of anything that you shop for on that platform for like the next 24 hours. I also have, you know, affiliate links for American Bubble Boy, List Perfectly, WorthPoint. If you're ever interested in any of them, just follow the link down in the description, and I get a small percentage for that also. I just appreciate all of the support you guys give us. I think we've just started my Reseller Genie also, and I think Robert's going to actually put together a video at some point about the ease of use of that platform if you're trying to figure out something to replace like many of us, we did GoDaddy for years, and then that program ended. So we are using this my Reseller Genie now. All right. Canada Mountain Goat Plush from Wild Wonders sold for $11. I just showed that in a recent video, so it was a very quick sell for me. Animal Adventure, I like that brand. I do very well with it, especially some of the older ones. Like this one was from 2008. It was a purple cow, so of course I was going to pick it up. Sold for $13.45. This is a viewer sale, so thank you so much, Ashley. Ashley purchased these right after I got them listed. They were these little mini Care Bear plush. They sold for $17. Prestige. It's a brand I like to pick up. I don't find it very often. It is usually vintage. This one was from 1986. Just a plain white 12-inch bear, sold for $10.45. Dakin Opus the Penguin from 1984. Y'all know I love vintage plush. That is my thing. When I am out sourcing, the vintage plush is first. Character plush is probably next, and then probably the smalls. I love picking up smalls, but I'm always on the lookout for the vintage stuff. This Dakin Opus sold for $16.16. I like when I can find the two of these together. Individually, they don't sell as well or as quickly, but this is the green dinosaur and the yellow bear from Peppa Pig, and it sold for $16.16. Y'all, this has been listed forever because I think before I had regular shipping, the retail shipping rates on eBay, it's oversized. It's a very long bead maze by Play School, and now that it's fourth quarter and my shipping is a lot more reasonable, it's sold $11.26. Care Bears Cheer Bear. This is one of the 3 of these that I picked up at a churchyard sale. I think I paid $2 or $3 for each of them. They are the large 24-inch plush, sold for $17.95. Gund Bootsy the Gray Cat sold for $9.86. It was another very quick sell, and it had whisker damages, so you know, sometimes that takes a little bit longer to sell. Y'all, I'm pretty sure I got these in that high bid estate sale that I won 2 years ago. I decided to divvy up the straws by like characters or small groups. This was 2 Snoopy straws. I ended up selling both of these for $16.12. Funny thing is they sat for a really, really, really long time. And then in just the last couple of months, I've started selling them. Just several of them from that lot. I don't know how many I have left. I can't remember. But, you know, it's just, that's how things go. You know, it's just Stuff will sit, and then all of a sudden you're selling a lot of similar stuff. I loved these. I got these in a little book lot of small books, but these were Cracker Jack books, and they are tiny. If you see that one square next to the books is 1 inch, so they were not even 2 inches tall. Really nice condition. Sold very quickly for $10. Vintage plush, y'all. These are those pinchers. That's the best way I can call them. They're like huggers. You know, you squeeze the back of their shoulder blades and their arms open up. Somewhere along the way, I had these 3, all of them Christmas themed, sold for $16.12. Kelly toy. This is one of the older plush. It had the older Kelly toy tag. 13-inch, very cute, sold for $16. Little people. I tend to make small lots of them. That was my strategy for like this past year. But I think going forward, I may go ahead and start making a little bit larger lots of them. You know, farm animals or people or, you know, just, but I think I'm going to start making larger lots. And I may end some of mine and do that. That's been my new strategy for this year going forward, is making lots. But this brown horse and black cow sold for $9. Play School My Buddy doll. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at the bins. Sold for $13. Dudum's Wacky Cow Dancing Figure. It's by Trendmaster. Anytime I find Trendmaster, it tends to be like a lot of the pumpkins that I sometimes find that light up or make sounds. Just, there's lots of different animated type figures and plush. I tend to pick them up. This was called Dudums. I have a video showing that it worked. Well, the music played, but it wasn't doing anything. So it kind of partially only worked. Sold for $17.95. This is another one of those. Just recently, I'm doing my inventory and I noticed there was something, one of these cookie sets was no longer listed, or I accidentally deleted it because y'all, I made that mistake. But I just decided to lot them all together. They were all train cookie molds and it worked. Sold for $15 for the 3 sets. Little Tykes Noah's Ark. Y'all, this was a slow sale. Would I pick these up again? Probably not. They just, they're big, they're heavy, they're chunky. I would probably the next time just list the animals and not the ark. Finally, though, it sold for $16.12. Nordic Ware cake pans. They're heavy, but I tend to pick them up if I can get them at a reasonable price. I want to say I paid $1 to $3 for this, and it sold for $15.25. Nordic Ware is the brand, only brand that if you find a bunt pan, can you use the word bunt in your listings. How do I know? Because I got a Vero for listing one of those, you know, the circle pans with the tube in the center. As a bunt pan, and only Nordic Ware can you use the word bunt. It is, they have the power to use only that word. I want to say I picked this up at the estate sale where I paid $2 for, it was like the last day of a sale, $2 for all the dolls that I picked up, $1 for all the plush. Bought a bunch there that day. This is Tycho California Roller Doll from 1991. Have a video of her, and sold for $26.95. Maggie McNaughton women's shirt sold for $12.70. And then Quacker Factory. Y'all, I do really well with Quacker Factory. I'm trying to get a lot of the wintry ones that I picked up at T.N. Picker's yard sale, get them listed. They just kind of got buried, and I'm working through all that stuff right now. But this Christmas shirt sold for $24.68 right after I listed it. Now this particular figure. He is Fisher Price. He looks like the smaller little vintage ones, but he's not. He's bigger. He's like the size of, dang it, I don't see it right now. Oh, right here. He's like the size of this, so don't get fooled if you see him. There's actually, I want to say, 2 different ones in that look like this. Y'all, they go to this Fisher Price ATV ride-on toy, and anytime I find these, I list them, and they sell very, very quickly. This one sold full asking price, $14.95. If you ever find that ATV ride-on, look it up, y'all. It's an amazing sale, but I think I have only found it one time in the 24 years I've been on eBay. And back then it was, you know, the shipping wasn't ridiculous for these larger toys. This is Christmas stockings all year long. This is a snowman from TV Trading Company, $14.50. Gans, Webkins, picked up a bunch of them. This one, I go through them and I try to find any that can be listed by themselves. This was one of them. Its name was Cream Soda Pup, sold for $14, and then the rest of them I lot. Disney Store Beauty and the Beast candle sold for $18. He did have some condition issues, but he was only listed a couple of months. Ramona reindeer, $16.25. Kohl's, I pick up a lot of Kohl's. This time of year, I sell quite a few. I know I said this last year that I was going to be on the lookout for the books that go with a lot of these characters. I didn't find a single one. Did I look really hard? No. But I would like to. I would like to make sure when I get to yard sales that I look in the kids' books to see if there's any of the Kohl's books and start matching them up. I think that would be fun. But this is T-Bone from Clifford the Big Red Dog, sold for $8.96. Powerpuff Girls, I pick up anything and all things that are Powerpuff Girls. They are very popular. This is Blossom. She was an 8-inch doll, $22.45. Ty Pluffies. This one is Huggy Pup. He's actually smaller than the normal Pluffies. I know instantly when I see a Pluffy, but this one can, if it's had its tag cut off, you might not remember it. It's from 2004 and it sold very quickly for $13.45. These glass ornaments, y'all. I wished I had had them listed sooner in the season. But slowly but surely they are selling. I paid $10 for a box of these Inga glass old world ornaments. They were all like fruits and vegetables. I've sold several. I paid $10 for the box, and I sold just the asparagus for $13.45. Another Christmas stocking. It looked handmade, but it was Indiana University, sold for $14. International Harvester snapback hat. This is a Robert thing. He tends to pick these up. Usually they're like $2 or less. This one sold for $22.45. I'll ship them in a box. Always do not put them in a padded envelope or even a poly bag. Put them in a box. Some of them I can fit down in like an 8x6x4. Sometimes I have to go a little bit bigger. Just depends on, you know, how it's shaped and everything. Monster Highs, I bought a bunch of the dolls. I still haven't gone through all of the accessories. I've got most of the dolls listed. Most of them are sold. I paid $65 for like 2 huge totes full of stuff. Like I said, I've not even touched on the accessories and stuff. You know, sometimes you wonder, you know, would I buy all of that again? Probably, but I do need to be better about getting to them and not letting them just sit. But this was, what's her name? Gulia Yelps. She sold for an offer of $20. Tommy Hilfiger shorts. It's December, still selling shorts, $15.01. And I just listed them. Kenner Care Bears. This is one of the Care Bears from the 80s. This one seems to be very common. I think there's a green one too that's very common. I listed this and sold it very quickly, but I did take a $10 offer for it. Make it gone. Make it gone. All right, these are Lemax Village pieces. This was 2 horses with some feed. These I remember picking up at that private pick estate sale that we went to, where I bought tons and tons and tons and tons of plush, but I did pick up some Christmas stuff. I picked up this, and then one of my, another one that I'm about to show you, I picked up at that sale. We ended up spending like, I want to say $400 and some, but y'all, I marked them in my custom SKU so that I could go back at some point. I'll have Robert go back through the solds and maybe throw a total price up of just what we've sold from that wonderful, amazing estate sale. Chalkware. I've got to get to the rest of these. I bought 5 flats of chalkware. I think one flat was $7.50, and I want to say I paid $10 for the others. I've sold several pieces out of just the 2 that I've listed so far, but I haven't even shown you guys the other 3. It's another thing. I got to get to them. But these 3 cats sold for $12. And they had condition issues. You just got to be honest. Don't try to hide stuff. Take pictures of everything. And, you know, people will still buy them. Garanimals. I love that brand. This is the pink rabbit. There's like a blue puppy and a white something that's all look very similar shaped. But this one sold for $10. Donald Duck hand puppet. I think he's missing something, like a shirt that he was supposed to have on. Had condition issues, still sold very quickly for $8.96. Sometimes you just gotta price it right if it's not in excellent condition. All right, 2 more Rodneys. This is one person bought 2 of them. They bought Randy with the paper tag and another one of the Ramonas, and they paid $35.90 for the 2. No Fear. I will know from now on to look. If I see a t-shirt with No Fear, no matter what the condition is, I'm going to pick it up because they do very well. This one said on the back, let's see, you can see it in his eyes. I really don't know what any of that's about, but this one was yellowed. It had some stains. Still sold for very quickly, like the same week I listed it, for $26.71. Brass. I listed tons when we first bought them, and then I've still got a huge tote back there. I'm going to get to it. In fact, I think I'm going to run a series, maybe starting in January, of working through the profit piles. You know, take a whole shelf that I have just put stuff on because it either needs clean, it needs tested, it got pushed there and forgotten about. But I think that's going to be my goal, is for January to get through a lot of these shelves and either get it listed, get it redonated, or get it thrown away, because there's an issue with it that it's just not going to make it worth listing. But I think, you know, hopefully you guys will, you know, feel the pain of just letting stuff build up like it has here. So that's the goal, is to get through some of these shelves and get them cleared out so that when yard sale season starts, I'll have space to once again fill it up. If I didn't say, this carousel horse sold for $12.07. Walmart. Oh no, I like that brand. It's becoming one of the ones that I really like picking up. This 21-inch bear is $10.49. Now, I just showed this in a recent haul. I actually picked up 2 of these. This one particular one, I think says I am dandy or something on the back. But the other one, I washed it several times. I could not get the stains out, so I just decided to discard it. But this one was a dog. It's a pillow, but I don't think it falls under the pillow people, so I did not use those words. But it sold very quickly also for $26.95. And then one of my really nice sales, this was also from that private pick estate sale. I picked up quite a few UT type figures and plush and just stuff that she had upstairs. This is a snowman figure with a dog. It was made out of that fabric mache, sold for $59.95. And last but not least, y'all, this sat over here waiting a while for Robert to pre-pack it for me, because I say this all the time. If it's not going to fit in a large priority box, pre-pack before you ever list it. Know exactly the weight and the dimensions of this box. But once I got it listed, it sold probably within 2 weeks, if not less. This is a Nesco American Harvest Jetstream oven. Did not have its original box or anything else. But y'all, it sold for $69.95, but it was a big, big box. So definitely encourage you, always, always, always pre-pack your stuff that's oversized. All right, y'all, it's time for lunch, and then I'm going to get to work myself. So y'all, get to work. Bye.